Hello, everyone. This is Lucretia, and you are tuning in to Candid Conversations. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining, for tuning in. Thank you for liking and subscribing. So, today I was meditating, I was listening to, and I was reading the book of Joshua, Joshua 1. And if I had a topic to call this candid conversation, I would call it Be Strong and Courageous. The book of Joshua is a great book, so when you have an opportunity, listen to it or read it. So, here in the book of Joshua, we find Joshua, and he is in a very interesting situation because his leader has died. This is the leader who's been a strong influence in his life, who he was discipled by. He saw God do great and mighty things through Moses. He sat up under Moses. He noticed Moses' prayer life, his character, his communication with God, and Joshua was right there every step of the way. However, Moses had died, and the baton had been passed to Joshua. Can you imagine all of the things that Joshua probably was thinking or feeling in this moment? It was now his turn. He and the children of Israel had spent 40 years in the wilderness after being rescued from Egypt. They had spent 40 years in the wilderness for disobedience to God. And now it is Joshua's turn to lead them to the promised land. He's probably thinking, my goodness, we've heard about it, we've talked about it, we've prayed about it, and now it's time. And God, are you sure? Are you sure you want me to lead your people into the promised land? Father, are you sure that I can do this? Are you sure I'm the man for the job? Have you ever had questions like that when God asks you to do something? I know I have. I think it's very interesting that God continued to tell Joshua 3 times. It was the Lord talking to Joshua. So Joshua didn't get the word of the Lord from anyone else. God told Joshua, the Lord told Joshua, be strong and courageous. And he told him, for the Lord thy God is with you wherever you go. The Lord did not just tell Joshua this one time, but he told him 3 times to be strong and courageous. I would just love to be a fly on the wall to look at Joshua's face as he was having this encounter with God. Perhaps he was looking sort of petrified. Have you ever had that look on your face when God asks you to do something and you're thinking, this is virtually impossible. I'm not sure why you would want me to do that. God, are you sure it's you speaking to me? But God continued to encourage Joshua by telling him, be strong and courageous, for the Lord thy God is with you wherever you go. And yes, you are going to lead the people to the promised land that I have given them. But he also told Joshua something very interesting. He said, and this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you are to meditate on it day and night, so that you can do all that I am commanding you to do. So when God gives us instructions, it behooves us to meditate on his word day and night and to obey. That's the only way that we are going to be able to be strong and courageous. When God does give us a command, when God does trust us to do something for him, or he gives us a charge, it's a great possibility. In fact, most times it's just out of our scope. and we have no idea how we're going to accomplish what God is asking us to do. And if we're not careful, we begin analyzing and thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to accomplish this? And sometimes we run ahead really fast and we begin to work in the flesh to try to do what God has asked us to do, and we get burnt out somewhere in the end. Or we are so petrified that we just stand still and we do nothing. And we sort of try to pretend that God didn't ask us to do what he asked us to do. And time is just wasting and time is just ticking. So God gave Joshua the remedy for that. How was Joshua going to be strong? Well, he had to meditate on the word of God. Not just meditating on it, but he also had to do what was in the word and what God had commanded him to do. 2020 has been a whammy. Yes, we have experienced some things that we have never experienced before, but God is still commanding us to be strong and of good courage. And he's still telling us today, for I am with you wherever you go. And if we have not been meditating on the word of God day and night, he is still telling us to do the same thing, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to be successful and prosper, as we are strong in the Lord and in the power of his might and meditating upon the word. That's also the only way that we're going to be able to defeat our enemies. Whatever he asks us to do, whatever he requires us to do, is not something that we can be in our own strength. So let me encourage you today with the word of God. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord thy God is with you wherever you go. Meditate upon the word of God day and night. This is Lucretia with another episode of Candid Conversations. Goodbye.